Hello and welcome to the Dreaded 30s podcast, where we share stories about our past, present, and future so you can feel a little bit better about yourself.
Our moods change faster than companies changing their Pride logos on July 1st. It's the Dreaded 30s podcast. Hi, Gavin.
Hi, Justin. Happy post-Pride month. Rainbow, rain gone, Henny. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Even though June is done, the fight continues.
Yeah, it's weird. We talked about it last week. Like, Pride month kind of flew by. Like, just like that, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. It really did. But here we are a couple weeks later. Sorry about that, y'all.
It was needed. And I think it's necessary that we jump into the obvious question.
Mm-hmm.
What are you dreading? What have you dreaded?
That's a tough question. I wouldn't say I'm dreading this, but I'm almost anticipating the build up to. I guess I'm dreading the build up to this weekend. It's not the next weekend coming up on the 17th. I'm go-go dancing for the first time. I know, seeing me in some skimpy little things, it'll be fun.
Okay.
If you heard this, Mom, sorry, surprise.
Surprise, Mom.
But yeah,
I'm a stripper.
I'm a stripper. I'm looking forward to it, dreading the build up. I'm trying to do all the workout stuff and get in the whole fit jockey shape that makes me want to dance all night. Because right now, girl, I danced for an hour last night and I almost collapsed. I was like, how am I going to do this? God. What about you? What are you dreading?
Well, not a lot. It's actually been kind of a chill week for me, which is good. Like, I was having some rough times, just Accutane things, as you know. Mm-hmm. But this week's been pretty chill, and this weekend was supposedly a not busy weekend, and I've been nonstop, which, like I've said, every single podcast just seems to be how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But not much drag going on. Things are going pretty good.
Yeah, well, you're looking very sporty today for those of us on video. What's going on? What do you want to talk about today?
So, yeah, now that Pride Month is over with, right? I think we should get a little sporty spice in here and talk about balls. Well, sports balls. Gavin, I want to know everything athletic about you.
Well, there is not a lot to say. However, during my upbringing, there was a lot of sports in my life. My parents always to throw me in all those sports like basketball, baseball, tennis, swim team. I did it all. I wasn't really good at it. I never really fit in with anybody there. I always kind of felt like the outcast of those groups. And I would just get bored and be like, I want to go home and play some RuneScape or go play some World of Warcraft. Get me out of here. It was kind of a struggle for me. Even in my, recent 5-6 years in my gay years, I tried to play gay softball in my city. And even then, I still didn't feel like I fit in there either. I had a pretty bad experience my first time playing. Our team wasn't really involved. People weren't really helping us. We had no coach. It was really, really rough. So I've kind of fallen off of that and gotten into just doing the gym life stuff. I'm sure you've seen
You're a gym bro now, right?
I am a gym bro. Well, I like to call myself that, but
no, you've made some serious gains. If people saw what you look like in 2010, 2011 when we first met, she had a glow up, and she ain't even done yet. She's not even close to being done, and she had a glow up.
It's been a journey. I'm still working on it. And it's a big change because back in the old days, high school days, I was terrified of the weight room and locker room because people were very homophobic. My high school was very homophobic towards me. The guys, the bros, and the gym, as I became older, became that outlet for me. And jumped in head first, did the CrossFit thing. It was awesome, super fun. I loved getting yelled at by super muscular men, sometimes shirtless, often shirtless, covered in sweat. Great. And they all knew I was gay, and I could actually just be myself, and I was able to work out with people who were just pushing themselves. It was a great feeling. Now I'm obsessed. I can't stop.
I mean, that's good. That's really awesome. But I mean, and it's like I said, your glow up. You've put some thickness to you. Come on, thickie.
Well, thank you. Well, that's my story kind of summed up. What's your story, Jay?
I mean, I was quite the athlete growing up, not to flex.
Ooh.
But I kind of did it all. I was really lucky to have, really good friends, but my parents also were kind of pushing, but in a positive way to play sports. So I did soccer, I did baseball, I did a season of basketball. I think the funniest thing of all of it is realizing that I needed to have my vision corrected. I used to pitch. See, I used to pitch in baseball, and I had a game where I hit at least 10 people in one game. And it was like, okay, clearly something's wrong. Like, and I have no clue why the coach didn't pull me. I don't know. But yeah, I did soccer in college, which was really fun. And after soccer, I also played in gay softball leagues, and that was a lot of fun too for me. I had some really positive experiences with it, so it's kind of unfortunate that you had a bad one.
Yeah.
Oof. And then 4 years ago, I gave rugby a try. There was a team in Atlanta that is an inclusive gay rugby team called the Atlanta Bucks.
The Bucks!
And it's been seriously life-changing. Like, it's been such a humbling sport. It's changed me so much, but it's also hurt incredibly bad.
I mean, your team was amazing. They're all so nice.
They're really good people. Like, the chemistry, the camaraderie, the brotherhood within that team is, like, so good. So damn good.
That's awesome.
And I just love being able to just drink beer on and off like a softball or a rugby pitch. Like how nice is that? But that gets us into the first thing I wanted to talk about, because not all people can get away with doing such things. Sha'Carri Richardson, who was America's hope for getting gold in the women's 100-meter dash at the Tokyo Olympics, she was suspended after testing positive for THC, which is a chemical within cannabis, for those unaware. And this pretty much makes it impossible for her to go to this year's Olympics. As of recording this, they did not select her for another event, so she's not going to Tokyo. Someone that everyone was so like hopeful for and so excited for isn't going anymore. And you know, I initially didn't think that THC should be a banned substance, and I thought it was just like the United States being prude, because look at places like Germany and places like the Netherlands where it's legal. Like, you can smoke weed in public and like no one cares. But I realized that it was the World Anti-Doping Agency who said that THC is on their banned list. So it's like the World Anti-Doping is kind of making this decision, and the United States is following that. So that made me not as upset. But come on, it's weed.
Yeah, and if you know me at all, and those who don't know me, I'm extremely pro THC. I think the amazing benefits of how it can help people are just awesome. It's huge. And I also understand as a spectator that any sport or anything else has like rules and regulations around it, and you kind of have to tiptoe around those sometimes. I know she was going through some trauma in her life at that time, so of course she was like, I'm just gonna hit that blunt real quick. And that THC, when it's in your system, it sticks around for like 2 weeks. And, if I had an interview within like 2 weeks, I'd be extra careful. Like, I'm not going to touch any poppy seeds. Like, I'm going to dodge the poppers, like at least for 2 weeks. So like, it's really unfortunate to hear that she's not even going to the Olympics now. Like, that really sucks, because her performance was amazing. Hopefully we'll see her next Olympics, because that's a rising star right there.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for that as well. I do agree with you. I feel like we should know that that's a thing, so we should probably try and avoid it. Like, we try and avoid that before interviews and stuff. But I'm hoping she comes back just like with a chip on her shoulder, and she just goes off, like even more fierce than she did that first race, because she was giving life.
Bring that rage back. Be angry. I want to see you angry.
So Las Vegas Raider Carl Nassib came out as gay, becoming the first openly gay player to have played a regular season game in the NFL. Drafted in 2016, Nassib is only the second openly gay player to have been drafted into the NFL. Shout out to Missouri's Michael Sam for being the first in 2014. Additionally, Nassib partnered with the Trevor Project, whose mission is to provide suicide prevention services to the LGBTQ community. I think it's great. I think there needs to be more visibility and representation in like the professional world. I definitely think it helps younger athletes become more comfortable with themselves. But Gavin, there seems to be some drama regarding Carl.
Yeah, and if you're on Twitter, you search his name and you just see what happens. And I'm not trying to be like that guy every time a sports person comes out and whatnot, but a lot of times context matters. And I do have a lot of thoughts about Mr. Nassib. It's very easy to find pictures of him all over on Twitter, on Google, with people wearing Trump gear. And to me, that's not a very good look for someone trying to become a role model for other LGBTQ in the country. I do think it sends a mixed message. And I hope he adds some context or clears that up. I don't know if he will. I love that he donated to the Trevor Project. Like that's huge. But I think if he's sending out the general social message that it's okay to be, mixing company with people who don't always support that, I think it can mix the community's opinion sometimes. And I think it's best if maybe he speaks up and clears it up. I don't think he will, but it would be nice if he did.
Yeah, I think what's difficult about the situation is he's clearly hanging out with people that are Trump supporters, right? It kind of makes him guilty by association.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no clear evidence that he personally is a Republican, but it's pretty much assumed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the only way that he can clear his name is by making a statement. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's how he operates. In the post that he made on Instagram, he's like, I'm a very private person. I have to focus on this season that's coming up. So you're not going to hear a lot from me. So I think this is all we're going to get from the man.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. Being closeted in a, high sport like that up there in the NFL, like that's kind of a big deal. It can destroy your job. You could be kicked off the team. Like there is still a lot of homophobia in sports. I think it's getting better, personally, just from being like the outside spectator. But you have some experience with, potentially facing homophobic things within sports in college. How did that go for you in college? Do you wish you came out during your soccer tenure or no?
So I think I made the right decision. The school that I went to has a religious background to it. And so that definitely at the time made me really nervous. But thankfully now they're more pro LGBT. Like they have community sport and stuff like that. So they're definitely a lot more accepting than maybe they once were, or at least they're more visible with it. So I appreciate that.
Wow.
But on top of that, I was a transfer student. I came in and had a really hard time already getting into social circles and having friends and building chemistry. And I felt like it just wasn't worth risking like a playing spot or risking relationships. Because I did have a mentality that if I came out, I would lose my spot on the team. And that's definitely not something that you want. I think like kind of the hindsight part of this, right, is that I do feel like I would have performed better if like I was authentically myself. I'm usually a player that is really emotional, has a lot of flair, and I feel like I filtered out a lot of that on and off the field, kind of just to protect myself and to prevent myself from essentially outing myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned, joining gay leagues like softball and like rugby, where everyone's gay or everyone's lesbian, someone like they're in the community in some way, shape, or form. I really feel like I can be myself, and I do think that my performances show that. I feel like I'm so much more comfortable in my own boots. Get it? Because it's sports. Go Balls.
Yeah, I guess for me, like the context was always kind of weird. Like, I guess if I were in your shoes, I don't know what I would do, because I went to a big public high school where there wasn't a lot of religious context. By my senior year, there were like kids coming out of the closet left and right in like the freshman, sophomore year. And then going to college, I went to Mizzou, and like there was so much gay there. It was ridiculous. I do think obviously there was homophobia because around the southern rural parts, more countryside parts of Missouri, you do have a lot of people who aren't exposed to queerness. And I don't know, if I were in your shoes, I would probably hold off as well, just because you don't know who's an ally and who's going to make your life harder.
Yeah, it's tough. And I think I was in a situation where like athletic scholarships weren't on the table. So you're not necessarily risking losing, financial stability in school. I was on an academic scholarship. So like I don't have to worry about anything like that, but we have D1 athletes that can be risking athletic scholarships by coming out. So I could understand why a lot of people, myself included, decided to just stay in the closet.
Mm-hmm. Which even now I feel like I still hear about a lot of cases in college where like some of these college students are more than out around like their friends and whatnot. Like Michael Sam, for example, he was out to like a lot of friends in Mizzou. And I think it was almost like a matter of time before like it came out to like, the wider public that, yeah, he is part of the community. I don't know. I feel like for nowadays, it hopefully becomes easier for athletes to just be their authentic selves. I don't keep up with a lot of other sports, but I know like, football/soccer. There are becoming more queer athletes coming out, and I don't know their names exactly, but there's some I hear on the news every now and then. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like I don't know who you are, but go you, get it.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that like individuals are coming out and kind of giving us some representation and some visibility, and kind of like what we talked about last episode, just like with the Pride Month thing. Of there's even teams in the NFL or in the NBA, whatever professional league it is, and it's teams that are showing their support for the LGBTQ community, and it's so cool. So kudos.
I love that. And actually, funny story, the Royals here in Kansas City, they went on a big like social push for like, Pride Month. And oh my goodness, the social like blow up from people being upset about it was ridiculous. But they kept hard. They kept pushing it. And they were like, we're not changing anything. Like they were very clear that they support Pride and LGBT, and they got a lot of flack for it. But like it's so nice to see sports teams or companies pushing to say, no, we're going to support this regardless of what, part of the market says. We don't care.
Yeah, I feel like social media is like such a cool thing, but also like such a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many like Facebook posts that you can look at, and the comments are just disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like sometimes I feel like that's where you find the scum of the earth, is in Facebook comments on like fan pages.
Yeah, I feel bad for anyone that's like a friend with me on Facebook, because I am known for always starting fights on every thread I find, and everyone sees it pop up and they're like, there goes Gavin again starting another Facebook fight. And I'm like, honey, I am here. I am SJW on the team.
I'm telling you, I have nothing to do with Kansas City anymore, but I will still get alerts and notifications or things pop up in my feed of him bitching at Overland Park moms over something so random. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. Why am I seeing this? He's just that guy.
I am that guy. You come after my Hawaiian bros and I will fight you.
I am not coming after Hawaiian Bros. Please sponsor us, because you're fire.
Oh, honestly. Well, now that I'm talking about food, let's talk about, we're all about this fitness life. We like to go down that road of being healthy sometimes.
Sus.
Yeah. What is your post-workout meal or drink?
So lately, it's definitely just like a protein shake. So I've been doing some chocolate protein, peanut butter powder, organic peanut butter powder, mind you.
Ooh.
Bananas, chocolate milk, and some ice. Like, it's pretty straightforward. I feel like the peanut butter powder kind of changes it, because I'm a hoe for some peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Peanut butter is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a rugby season that was like super strenuous. Like, we had a game every Saturday for like 12 weeks straight, something absurd. And during that season,
Jeez.
my post-practice meal was Checkers or Rallies.
Ooh.
And I would get these fat freaking burgers. And their fries, so good.
Oh.
So good. But like, I needed the calories. I was like burning so many calories. I needed something fat, and I got it.
Plus, I feel like you burn through calories pretty fast. Like,
I used to.
Yeah, same.
Like, rugby doesn't happen as often anymore. So I'm not burning as many calories as I should.
Same. I feel like as we're like crossing that gap into 30 now, it's like everything starts to fill up in different parts of the body more, and I have to like watch what I'm eating. And when the dietitian says only eat this much of a portion, I say, how about one more bite?
Mood.
Like right now, for example, I have half a Chipotle waiting in the fridge. That is one of my favorite post-workout things. I know. It's either that or Hawaiian Bros. I am obsessed. I know I talk about Hawaiian Bros all the time, but it's just their opening line is like sweet and savory chicken, pork, or veggies, perfectly paired with white rice and macaroni salad.
I literally just got cold chills just listening to that.
Oh, my mouth is watering. It's delicious. I love it. I crave it. I could eat it every day, but it's like 2,000 calories. They got teriyaki sauce in there, tons of sodium. Like it's not very healthy, but it's damn good.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You do anything else other than Hawaiian Bros?
That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, other than that, though, I'll drink any like gluten, dairy-free protein powder. I'm honestly always down for a smoothie. Like bananas, love bananas. I don't drink real milk. I don't know. It tastes kind of funny to me these days. But I do like almond milk with a nice protein powder. You know,
I feel like almond milk would actually be pretty solid in a protein shake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I've never considered that.
You know, I'll eat cheese sometimes, but like actual milk, I don't know what happened to me. But one day I woke up and I was like, this tastes like throw up to me. Like it just tastes rancid. Like I smell it. I'm just like, oh, milk, honey, no. Like, but almond milk, chef's kiss.
So do you do like almond milk in cereal as well?
I don't eat cereal.
Like you don't do milk. Like you don't use milk for anything. Anything.
Nope, no milk. I used to like cereal, but it's all gluten, so I just avoid it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
So yeah.
I feel like I should tell the embarrassing story that happened last night. So we're talking meals, right? Uh-huh. And I was streaming on Twitch. Hi, how are you? And I was actually doing like a just chatting, and I was grilling out back, and I was grilling burgers. They were turkey burgers because, you know, I wanted something a little bit healthier. But for whatever reason, I thought that a turkey burger was vegetarian.
Oh, no.
So on stream, I was like, I know you're vegetarian. Here's a turkey burger. And chat was immediately like, no, turkey's not vegetarian. It was like, I'm red right now just thinking of it. I was so embarrassed.
You said it so confidently. Like you said so nonchalantly, just off the tongue. It rolled right off. You're like, yeah, I know you're a vegan, so here's a turkey burger. I got you. It's like,
I was so like, I thought I nailed it. I was like, look at me, man. Like I'm making this healthy meal. I'm making a vegetarian burger. It's turkey. It's ground turkey. Why did I think that was vegetarian?
You know, you were doing your best. And that's what counts.
I'm always trying my best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that I'm embarrassed, I think that's all we got.
Yeah. Good little wrap up. Good story. We like those.
Yeah. Listen to the intro. Embarrassing stories. So you can feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Sorry for a week delay, but hey, you know, things happen.
Yes.
If you aren't following us on social media, what are you doing? Find us on Twitter, Instagram, even YouTube. If you're watching us, hi, how are you? At Dreaded 30s, anywhere and everywhere. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Do you got anything else, Gavin?
You got it covered. Thanks so much.
Cool. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.